Hello everyone, welcome to Jatin Verma's IS Academy. Today we will be discussing a very important topic, that is the coronavirus. Now before that, we have a number of upcoming courses on Unacademy Plus. These courses are integrated courses that will help you in your preparation for both the UPSC prelims as well as the mains. To sign up for these courses, log on to the Unacademy platform and use our code ChatinVarma71 to avail a 10% discount. Now, before getting into the details of the topic, let us understand some important terms. So, the first term is pathogen. Now, a pathogen is basically any organism that will cause diseases in the body of the host organism. A vector, on the other hand, is basically a mediator. It carries the disease-causing organism, that is the pathogen, into the body of the host. In a very simple example, I will explain to you how these two are related. For example, whenever a person suffers from malaria, the pathogen, that is the disease-causing organism, is known as the plasmodium. It is carried into the body of the host, that is the human, through a mosquito that is known as the Anopheles mosquito. Now, there are a number of types of pathogens, but we will be understanding about only 4 of them. The 4 important types of pathogens are bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. Now, the coronavirus, as we can understand by its name, is caused by a virus. Now, what are these viruses? How do they affect human beings? Now, a virus is basically a biological agent that reproduces inside the cell of a host. So whenever a virus enters a human body, it will first avoid the body's immune system and use the resources of the body in order to replicate, and will then spread onto a new host. Now, the coronavirus comes from a large family of viruses and is common to both animals and humans. Now, this virus is basically zoonotic in nature. By zoonotic, we mean that a coronavirus can basically spread from an animal to a human being. Now, there have been many cases where we've also seen that the virus has also spread by human-to-human contact. Now, recently, a new strain of viruses was identified by Chinese researchers. This new virus is also known as the novel coronavirus. This virus is said to have started from the Wuhan district of China and has spread to other countries like Japan, Thailand, and South Korea as well. Now, this virus is a pneumonia-like virus that had swept throughout Wuhan. It had affected a number of people, and as of now, it has an approximate of 300 people affected, and at least 4 people have been killed as per the official records. On a total, there are 6 strains of coronavirus before this novel coronavirus that were detected to affect human beings. Out of that, 4 of them were known to be disease-causing in human beings. 2 of the most important disease-causing strains were the SARS coronavirus and the MERS coronavirus. Both of these cause severe respiratory diseases. The current novel coronavirus is said to be very similar to the SARS coronavirus. This strain of the coronavirus had basically caused an epidemic in the year 2003 and it affected a number of human lives. Now, the issue with the current coronavirus is that we are unable to understand the source from which it has been spread. We also do not know for sure whether it has been transmitted via a vector or it has happened from human to human contact. Also, the outbreak of this virus has coincided with the Chinese Lunar Year. That means a number of Chinese individuals will be traveling across the world. This is how we saw that because of this Chinese travel, this disease spread to the other countries. So when the news for this new novel coronavirus spread, the World Health Organization, that is the WHO, declared an emergency meeting on the 22nd of January 2020 to address this epidemic. Now, the World Health Organization in 2016 had given one of the detailed reasons why these epidemics have been spreading from countries like China. So it said that of the total number of new diseases that have spread, 75% of it have affected humans. This is because the pathogens or the disease-causing organisms have been hosted or vector-borne by animals or from the products of the origin of these animals. Now, humans and these animals need to come together and stay in close contact because of the shortening of area of living. Increasing population and the clearing of vegetation have made domestic animals and human beings come close and stay together in a small area. Because of this, they get exposed to the carriers of diseases, that is the vectors. For example, bats, primates and rodents now stay in close proximity to humans. This exposes humans to a number of microorganisms. These microorganisms may be viruses. Now, we've already discussed that viruses are basically those organisms that thrive in the body of the host. So, the genetic makeup of these viruses allow them to survive in many foreign environments, including that of the human immune system. Because of that, viruses are seen to be resistant to drugs. Now, antibiotics do not affect a virus. They are only administered to take care of a bacterial infection. And so, treating a viral infection and curing it is quite difficult. This was a report that was given by the World Health Organization in 2016. Now we need to understand what is the economic impact of such an outbreak. Now, when the SARS outbreak happened in 2003, a number of economists came together to give an estimate about how much these diseases affected the world. So it was said in a 2017 paper by economists Victoria Fan, Dean Jemison and Lawrence Summers that approximately $500 billion or 6% of the global income was spent in order to mitigate this disease. Similarly, in a 2016 study by the Commission on Global Health Risk Framework, that pandemic diseases cost the global economy over $6 trillion, and that is almost an equal of $60 billion a year. So it has a huge impact on the total income of the world as well as of the host country. The SARS outbreak had roughly costed about $40 billion in 2003. Now, whenever such outbreaks happen, a number of industries are affected by it. The only industry that actually benefits from it is the pharmaceutical industry, because more research will be done on treating the disease, as well as more drugs would be sold to mitigate its effects. But apart from that, because of that, people would now not want to travel to such a country. So there is a decline in the tourism levels. All other travel related stocks, for example, hotels, airlines, luxury and consumer goods, face a decline. This had happened during the 2003 SARS breakout, when most of the Chinese companies showed a decrease in use of hotels, airlines and all other luxury consumer goods. It basically also makes most of the investors very wary. They are confused about when they should be making an investment and in case the outbreak would affect their business. So preventing such an outbreak becomes mandatory for all the countries in the world. Now in India, we know that our population basically suffers from malnutrition and weak immunity. This will make them easy hosts for the virus. Also, people in India live in close clusters. They live very close to each other. Because of this, the spread of the virus will become very easy. Also, the poor health infrastructure of India has always been a concern. So keeping this in mind, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has taken a string of measures to prevent a coronavirus outbreak in India. In the first step, it has mandated the civil aviation industry screen passengers coming in from China to the various airports in India. This screening has to be done with the help of thermal cameras, which will allow the executives to understand whether a human is facing from any of the symptoms of this virus. The Integrated Disease Surveillance Program has also been launched, and it is geared up for community surveillance and contact tracing. So this was all about this topic. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.